Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Cyber Pulse. I'm your host, Nancy, and today we are tearing down a story that's sending shivers through the encryption community. If you're holding an iPhone running the latest software, you might want to listen closely. We're talking about a ghost in the machine, a zero-day exploit that supposedly cracks iOS 26 wide open. Joining me to dissect this is our resident security architect and digital forensics specialist, Khalil. Welcome back, Khalil.
Thanks, Nancy. Always good to be here, even if the news is a bit alarming this week.
Alarming feels like an understatement. We're looking at a report from Cybersecurity News about a threat actor going by the alias ResearcherX. They claim to have a full-chain zero-day for iOS 26 listed on the dark web. Khalil, for the listeners who might not speak hacker fluent, let's start with the basics. What exactly is a full-chain zero-day, and why is that phrase so expensive?
Right, so let's break it down. Zero day means the vendor, in this case Apple, has 0 days to fix it because they don't know it exists yet. It's a vulnerability in the wild. Now, the full chain part is the scary bit. Modern operating systems like iOS 26 are built like fortresses with multiple walls. Usually, a hacker might find a way to get through the front gate, but they get stopped by the inner keep. A full chain exploit means this attacker has strung together multiple vulnerabilities, one to get in, one to elevate privileges, one to bypass the kernel protections, effectively giving them a master key to the entire castle.
So it's not just cracking a window, it's walking through the front door, disarming the alarm, and opening the safe.
Exactly. And according to the listing, this particular chain leads to root access. That means the attacker has the highest level of administrative control over the device. They aren't just a guest, they are the system administrator.
And the article mentions this is a zero-click exploit. That sounds exactly like what it implies, but clarify that for us.
This is the holy grail for attackers and the nightmare for defenders. Most hacks require you to mess up. You click a bad link, you download a shady app. Zero-click means you do nothing. You don't tap, you don't scroll, you don't accept. The report states this specific exploit targets the iOS Message Parser, so your phone receives a malformed data packet, maybe a text, maybe an iMessage invisible to you, and the moment your phone tries to process that message in the background, boom, you're infected.
That is terrifying. You don't even have to open the message?
No. The parsing engine, the bit of code that decides what is this data, gets confused by the malformed packet, corrupts the memory, and executes the attacker's code. It happens in milliseconds.
Let's talk about iOS 26. This OS dropped in September 2025. It was marketed as having multi-layer protection. Apple made a huge deal about their new kernel defenses. How is ResearcherX bypassing this?
That's the billion-dollar question, or the $5 million question, judging by the asking price. iOS 26 did introduce hardened kernel protections specifically designed to stop memory corruption, which is what this exploit uses. The fact that ResearcherX claims to bypass multi-layer protection suggests they've found a logic flaw in how those defenses hand off data. It's like installing a titanium steel door but leaving the key under the mat. If this is real, it means the fundamental architecture of iOS 26 has a blind spot.
What's at risk here? If someone buys this and uses it on me, what do they get?
Everything. The listing explicitly mentions the keychain. That's your password vault. It mentions real-time location data, encrypted messages, and photos. Because they have root access, the encryption that usually protects your data at rest doesn't matter as much because they are operating as the user who owns the keys. They can exfiltrate your life without you seeing a single crash or prompt.
No visible crash. That was the other thing. The stealth level is listed as high.
Right. In the old days, a bad exploit might make your phone reboot or freeze. This one is designed for espionage. It's clean.
Let's pivot to the marketplace. Who buys this? The report says it's an exclusive sale. Does that mean it's going to some kid in a basement?
Definitely not. When you see a price tag in the millions, usually $2 to $5 million for a working iOS zero-click, and it's marked exclusive, that means it's being sold to one buyer. That buyer is almost certainly a nation-state intelligence agency or a very high-end private surveillance firm, companies like the ones behind Pegasus or Predator. They want exclusivity so Apple doesn't find out and patch it. If you sell it to 10 people, the chance of it getting caught goes up 10 times.
So ResearcherX is cashing out once and disappearing?
Likely. Or they are a broker for a team of hackers. Developing a chain this complex takes months of research. It's not a solo hobbyist project usually. It's industrial-grade cyber warfare development.
Is there any chance this is a scam? The dark web isn't exactly Amazon. There's no return policy.
True. Verified sellers scam people all the time. However, the technical details provided, specifically targeting the message parser, align with historical trends. We've seen blast door exploits in the past. It smells legitimate, technically speaking, but until we see it in the wild, we can't be 100% sure.
So, for the average listener driving to work right now with an iPhone in their pocket, what do they do? Throw the phone out the window?
Please don't. The odds of an average person being targeted by a $5 million cyber weapon are statistically zero. These are used against high-value targets, dissidents, journalists, politicians, CEOs. However, the existence of the bug is the risk. If ResearcherX found it, someone else might too. The best advice is to watch for iOS 26.02. If this sale is real, Apple is likely already hunting for the bug or negotiating to buy the details themselves via bounty programs. When that update hits, install it immediately.
It's a cat and mouse game, isn't it?
Always. We build a 10-foot wall, they build an 11-foot ladder.
Well, on that comforting note, we're going to wrap up. Keep your eyes peeled for that update notification, folks. It might be more important than just new emojis. Khalil, thanks for walking us through the darkness today.
Anytime, Nancy. Stay safe.
You've been listening to the Cyber Pulse. I'm Nancy, that was Khalil, and remember, in a zero-click world, silence can be the most dangerous noise of all. See you next time.